Good morning, viewers all over the world. This is your community friend coming to you once again on this positivity podcast with Blessing and Keith. Keith, good morning.
Good morning.
Greet the viewers.
Posy, posy.
Posy, posy.
Posy, posy.
Posy, posy.
Wonderful to be here again. Really looking forward to today.
Always positive, aren't we?
Amen.
So, if you have watched us, we are now on the season 1 of episode 2 of the Positivity Podcast. In case you're wondering what we are going on about, maybe you're joining us for the first time. Keith is the founder of the Positive Foundation, and I've joined hands with him to make sure that we spread positivity on earth. There's a lot of negativity, and this has caused suicides, depressions, hospitalizations, and chaos. So someone like Keith that has come up with such a brilliant foundation, we thought, look, the only way to reach masses is by doing a podcast. You might not be around us, which is Nelspruit, South Africa, or White Rivers, Nelspruit, Mpumalanga, but at least if you're in Afghanistan, Israel, USA, Japan, anywhere you are, we can spread positivity one person at a time. Kids, tell them about the law of positivity.
Yeah, the law of positivity is the basic foundation of all that we're trying to do. And it states very simply, when you have and practice a positive attitude, you will be more excellent at whatever you do. Be positive and you will be happy.
When?
Correct.
It's all about when. So when are you going to start? In case you missed episode 1, please go back to episode 1. We unpacked the Positive Foundation. We unpacked how we want to do it. We will touch on it later on. But the law of positivity is built on pillars of strength. So on this podcast, we are going to be delving into these pillars of strength to find more meaning into what we're trying to say, and for you as a viewer to follow this positivity attitude. So Keith, today we are starting with our pillar of strength, number 1.
Correct.
Tell us about the number 1 pillar of strength.
All right. The number is show that you care. So the pillars of strength, why we call them pillars of strength, is there 7 of them that we've got. We plan on creating more and more as time goes on. But the 7 that we've got now is what is supporting. That's why we call them pillars. They're supporting all that we try to do and the law of positivity. So, in fact, all of them show that you care. What is it? It's fundamentally an attitude. And this is the wonderful thing about what we are achieving, is it's not anything new. It's not rocket science.
No?
It's basic fundamentals. And one of the major problems that we face in attitude, all of us, is we're not aware of our own attitude. We're aware of other people.
Other people.
Ask my wife what my attitude is.
She'll sing a song, write many books.
And so all of the 7 pillars are around ways that we can show that we care, that we can be strong in the whole law of positivity.
And when I think about it, Kate, if we look at religion, and many of the religion sectors, they all anchor showing care.
Right.
Our religion, for instance, Christianity, what did Jesus say? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul. And the next best and number 1 commandment, love your neighbor as yourself.
Correct.
Each and every religion talks about loving another, loving another, loving another. Now we have come to the law of positivity. What is the number one strength? Show care. Correct. So, can you take us deeper into this showing care? Am I showing care to my friends? Is it showing care to my children? What are we talking about, Keith?
To those questions, yes, to all of them.
Mm,
Because we need to show care more than what we are doing. All of us are doing it in one way or the other, but we miss so many opportunities to show. We can talk about how to care, but we need to actually show. So it's an action that you need. And it goes from picking up a piece of paper. There's one story of a big organization today in the world called the Good Guys. And it started, you might remember when pay it forward was uh, the buzzword. And it started with somebody that was looking for pay it forward examples. And they took a video of this guy who just saw a lady wanting to cross the street, an old lady, and he went up and took her arm and took her across the street. So a simple thing like that. And that video went viral.
wow.
Right? And that has made that organization what it is today.
My goodness.
So we would encourage you
Mm.
to take videos of all of the things as we continue with these podcasts, to what we learn in them, to put them into practice. So that's why this one says, show that you care, not talk about.
Wow. Okay, so kids, so what you're trying to tell us here is that showing care is broad. And what I pick up from our actual pillars of strength, showing care, we have to be intentional. It must become a habit of showing care. You know, Kit and I were discussing this earlier on to say a lot of people, they wake up with joy, they pray, they sing, they put on music, they're excited about going to work, and then boom, somebody cuts you, or you actually innocently catch someone without knowing, and then they pull down the window, they swear at you, they'll hoot at you, and you try to ignore, you continue singing your music, you get to the office, you meet the guard is angry, he just gives you an attitude, maybe the receptionist. So it becomes a trail to the point that that positive attitude starts to diminish. So what we are talking about when we're saying show care, be intentional. Right. You don't know that person that cut you on the road if they are rushing to the hospital. You don't know, maybe they have a sick elderly mother at home they are rushing to pick up. You don't know that woman, that man that cut you off or that mistakenly bumped into you in the supermarket if they were rushing for something. I remember one day I was rushing to Son Park to get something for my daughter who was not feeling well. I rushed in, I parked. My mind, as a mother, your mind is on getting that thing and driving back home. And this lady was so angry with me. I don't know whether she wanted to park where I was parking, or I don't even know what she was angry about. Probably I did something wrong, but she made sure that anytime she bumps into me in the supermarket, she shows me that she's very angry. I was trying to smile, which is what I love most about showing care. I'm one of those people who are intentional about showing care, especially if I see that somebody's low. I don't want to add to their problems. I try by all means to smile, to ask if is everything is okay. Yeah, I'm one of those nosy people. If I see you crying in a supermarket, I might come up and ask you everything is okay. But that is the law of positivity, right? Imagine if we can have a trail of people smiling at you, showing you posi that everything will be well, the world will be a better place.
Right.
Give us more examples, Kit.
Well, there's so many, and may I just remind everybody too that we so often forget to show those close to us
Yeah.
that we care
Mm.
because we just take so much for granted. And I'm very privileged to have the most wonderful wife in the world. And it's for the last 58 years
Wow.
that we've been married. And we consciously continue to show each other that you care.
Consciously.
Getting married is showing that you care for that person.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
And so that's the very first step. But so often we forget that. And we say that our spouse and our kids are our most important thing. But how often do we be cross with them or talk nasty to them in company where it's so easy to stop
Yes. Yes.
and say, Wakai, to go down that road is just negativity and it snowballs. Whereas if you can stop and then just be positive about it and do something to show that you care.
Keith, you have touched a very sensitive subject. You've been married for 58 years, and you and your wife consciously show care to one another. Now, in this country, we have a terrible pandemic, which is called gender-based violence. If we check at the deeper side of gender-based violence, what is there is lack of care for another person. There's no care at all. Correct. People just say whatever they feel like saying, and people respond the way they feel like responding. You might find that the most sweet and humble wife, for example, is got this animosity against her all the time that she'll end up raising her own voice. Now they're snarling and growling, and one day, boom. But if the guy was showing care and remembering that I'm the one that said to this person, I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I need you. At some point in your walk, you were lovey, sweetie, but some caring shifted. So with the law of positivity, showing care is deep. You've been with that husband for 10 years. You've been with that wife for 15 years, for 20 years, for 30 years. Try to think why you married her, why you married him, and what transpired in between. And you discover that you one started showing care to another, one stopped doing the lovely thing they used to do, stopped coming home on time, stopped looking after the kids. This is where my heart bleeds. Because I've got ministry for children and teenagers. These children and teenagers, they tell me they don't know the last time they had a positive conversation with their parents. The parents think giving the children money, buying them expensive cell phones, taking them holiday is care. But these children say even on holiday, mom is on the phone, dad is on the phone, they are on their phones. So you are together but not together. So care is not just giving something. Care is not just showing something. Care is a package.
Correct.
Can you try to unpack this package?
Yeah.
Let's say in a family setup, what do you constitute as care?
Yeah. And it's got to start in the family. And that's where everything starts.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, internationally, that family unit is breaking up more and more and more.
Yes.
And so he's talking negative today because negativity is absolutely
It's a cancer.
yeah, and it's so prevalent and it's become so we just got to break that. And so showing that you care starts at home with little things. Okay. And start when I say little things like what? I bring my wife before we go to bed, the last thing that I do every night is see what she's got to drink for the night next to her. Because we all wake up thirsty, so she doesn't have to get up. And we had the soda water or water, and she has a glass of each, and I fill that up. She, in turn, because I just put my head on the pillow and I'm asleep. Right? My wife takes 15, 20 minutes
To sleep.
watches a bit of TV to sleep. So I'm always in bed before she is.
Yeah.
And she comes in and tucks me in like a little baby.
Wow.
Just pulls up the tree, tucks me in, and gives me a kiss goodnight.
Wow.
She shows that she cares.
My goodness.
And what do I do when that happens? I say, thank you, my darling.
Wow.
Because if we don't say thank you for those times that people show us care, we mustn't just take them for granted. We must
My
pay.
goodness.
And those are in the violence, the DBD that you're talking about, that's where it all starts. And it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
So when somebody shows you care,
You must
respond and at least say thank you for it, if nothing else. And there are hundreds of different ways that you could, in the family, that you can show that you care. With the kids, how do you show that you care?
Mm.
Fundamentally, you keep your word. That's another one of the pillars that will become a perfect person.
Wow.
And when you talk to teenagers, as you do a lot, you find that's one of the things that has hurt them most with their parents. The parents haven't showed that they care and haven't kept their word.
They're liars.
Yeah. Said, I'll come to your hockey match or your whatever. I'll come
Small
debate.
bed.
And then they don't pay.
I'll come to your soccer game.
Yeah.
Then it becomes 2 soccer matches, 3 soccer matches, 4 soccer matches, and they don't pitch at all.
Good.
So you see that showing care. If you have not been showing care, you need to start. The whole point of this positivity podcast is to bring back a positive attitude into our lives. We start by showing care because it is the one thing that will bring back positivity into someone's life. There are people that live with a mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, 3 sisters, 15 children, but they're alone.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Everybody's busy. And with the age of cell phone, you can easily go for 1 year without talking to each other.
Correct.
Just pass me salt. Someone passes water.
Yeah.
I said salt. They take it from me. So nothing.
Yeah.
What are we trying to say here? I remember there's one of the books that I've read that is in my office, Love Languages. I love that book. For couples, you need to learn each other's love language so that you show care. Kids love the way their wife tucks him in, and kid's wife love the way the husband cares. But do you know some women, their love language is you standing in the kitchen with her while she cooks?
Yeah.
Only that. For one day, leave soccer, stand with me in the kitchen, talk to me and laugh with me, and I'm satisfied. So for her, you coming into the kitchen, saying, how are you, sweetheart? Giving her a kiss on the neck, that's all she wants. Then for another husband, his love language is when he walks into the house, he's greeted with a smile and a hug. Not, where are you coming from at this hour? You're always late. You didn't call me that. You know, I've heard so many things now. There's men's conferences, there's men's parties where men gather from 5 p.m. to I don't know about the whole world. In Nelspruit, we have such places when men gather in their cars and drink, hoping that when they get home, the wife is asleep.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's no care and positivity at home at all. So we don't want to talk about negative things on this podcast, but we are trying to show different ways of showing care. Try to learn the love language of your daughter. Try to learn the love language of your son. Some sons They're tired of you giving them money. All they need is for you to say, so my son, how is it going? What would you want? What can I help you with? How are you going with your studies? Oh, my daughter, how are you? Do you have any friends? Tell me about your friends. Anything. They just want to know that my parent cares. So check what your wife's love language is. Check what your husband's love language is, because it starts from home. If somebody leaves home with a negative attitude, it's going to spread into the street and cause an accident. It's going to stretch into the office and cause loss. It's going to stretch into the government and cause war. It's going to cause chaos at work.
Yep.
Because the way a person behaves now, it's a product of what has been happening behind the scene.
Correct.
So if there's no care behind the scene, the venting is going to be to the world.
Correct.
Tell us more, Kit.
And that is what has happened. And we have found a way to help each other, show that you care, or just be aware. And that is how we greeted you in the beginning, with a thumbs up. Everybody, it's international. Everybody knows what a thumbs up is. And we just say at the same time, posi posi.
Posi, posi.
Why do we say that? Because by using another sense of talking, takes the effect up exponentially. And it is impossible. We can't, I can just ask you, if you have got two people in the room that you are watching this, just turn to the one now and say, posi posi.
You have to smile.
You have to. You cannot say posi posi. You've got to smile as well. It's connected.
And there's some positive energy that flows with it.
So use it as much as you can. We use it in our environment when somebody sees me going negative long before I see myself. All right? We're not aware. Awareness is what the fundamental problem of all of these things are. We don't want to be negative. We want to be, for God created us in His image. That means we've got to be positive. We've got to use this incredible gift that we were given of conversation, of communication. No other form of creation is like that.
Definitely.
They can communicate basic needs, sex and hunger and anger and what have you. But they can't do what we're doing now. And we've used it to be more and more negatively. We need to use it positively. And as a final thing, just very quickly, last time we spoke a little bit about posi parts, because that's another methodology that over the years, the Positivity of Foundation has found that it works, because so few things of trying to change people's attitude, and we can't change anybody's attitude. But a posi pod gives everybody that joins the pod, and it's a maximum of 10 people in a pod. They meet regularly, and they've got a system of going through that we call post, ponder, and promise. So everybody has that opportunity to do those things. And I would just urge you, pods work. They tick the box for all ways of, from a mental health point of view. Wow. Right? What is the psychiatrist doing to you when you're lying on the couch? She's listening to you, right? And that's what we do at Pods. We listen to each other and we help each other. Wow. To what to do, to find ways of putting that law of positivity into practice, and learning, helping each other, show that we care for each other, for our wider thing, and for the world.
You know, Kit is highlighting something very important. We have Alcoholics Anonymous. We have alcohol drug rehabilitation centers. We have churches. But one problem in all those things, there is no individual connection and positivity coming out. For instance, somebody who goes to Alcoholic Anonymous, you are going to meet fellow alcoholics that are trying to heal. Doesn't mean they are positive about it. Some of them don't want, the family is forcing them. So what are we saying? What we are saying is we are having a pod, people of destiny, where we actually meet to put positivity into each other. Because you can listen to this podcast, get excited, get motivated. When you walk out of the door, boom, a negative situation strikes. Or a negative situation is waiting for you at home. You have no electricity. You are angry. So positive attitude, we have discovered, it cannot just happen on its own. You know, as that pray, the more you pray, the more attacks you get. So we keep on praying. So it's the same thing with positivity. That is why there's positivity foundation, because we have discovered this should be ongoing. Every week, you should be able to meet with your podders, which is people of destiny, discuss positive issues, discuss how to share care to the community, and you live there with your positiveness. When you come next week, if there's something that keeps on hindering, we discuss it, we look at the way forward. So this is an ongoing process. And there is pods that are going to be put in every society. Right now, we're starting with where we are. And if we are someone interested in Zambia, for instance, they can be trained to have their own pod of 12 people that will meet once a week or once in 2 weeks, or virtually, like right now. On Monday next week,
Correct.
we are having a first virtual Posi pod. So we are going to share the WhatsApp number. It's going to be on WhatsApp. It's going to be live, and people share positivity. I've attended quite a number of virtual pods, and it's a blessing. It has changed a lot of things. The way I speak to myself, if I want to change something, like at one of the pods, I was asked, tell us the one thing that is negative about yourself that you want to change. And I intentionally said, being late. And instead of saying, I'm so stupid, why am I always late? I started seeing positivity into, I want to go early. And believe you me, since that pod, I think it was 2-3 weeks ago, I've not been late for anything. Anything that I was supposed to go to, I've not been late. So it's the law of positivity. Remember, when you say the words, the universe responds. So when you keep on saying positive things, positive things will start coming back to you, which is exactly the whole point and objective of the positive foundation. If 2 of you, 3 of you, 4 of you, 100 of you, 1,000,000 of you start bringing out positive energy, we are going to start having a better earth.
Amen.